Hey, it's Luke Voulgarakis from LV Life and welcome to your quick tarot for week commencing 15th of July 2024. We'll start with some general energies and then we will go into each sign individually. So I'll put the timestamps in this video so that you can forward to your sun, moon and rising signs and watch those. All right, let's see what we've got. So general energies, we've just started with the 8 of Wands in reverse. Let's take another one then. What we got here? Oh, 2 out. Perfect. And then the Page of Pentacles and the Tower. I feel like this might be not that dissimilar from last week, so I have to go back and watch it. Have you rewatched last week? So then did that stuff come into fruition for you? Always worth checking. So here we go. So we've got this reversed 8 of Wands here. 8 of Wands is about everything pointing in the right direction, and perhaps in this reverse position, not necessarily that things aren't going in the right direction, but perhaps you're being course corrected, or you feel like you've come off track a little bit, or you're wondering why things are stalling, not quite happening. But it's all in divine intervention and divine timing. So you might just be feeling a little bit stagnant or stuck, but that's not to say things aren't going in the right direction. It's just that they may not be going as fast as you would like them to. But I mean, all is good in that respect. This is actually a positive card to say kind of keep the faith, keep going. It is all happening as it's supposed to. Don't get too hung up in the physical. Like even when stuff's not physically happening, it doesn't mean that behind the scenes stuff isn't happening, or internally shifts and changes aren't happening and you aren't growing through things as they are, regardless of what you see in the physical world. So it is all good. Things are going in the right direction, but I can understand if you're feeling this lull at the moment. Then we've got the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles being this kind of very much a youthful, optimistic energy. I often describe the page as a bit like an intern. And so I feel like, maybe you've been feeling that stuff has been a bit stagnant or stalling, but actually maybe it's starting then to come into fruition. You're starting to actually see like the glimmer of hope, the thing that you want just kind of starting to appear on the horizon. So perhaps this energy is what you have been feeling. I've certainly been kind of feeling lethargic and stalled this week. As I'm recording this video, I'm literally just sat here stuffing my face with crisps, and that's pretty much what I've been doing all week. It's Greek week in Lidl, so if you like oregano crisps, they are fantastic. I bought far too many of them. But it turned into a little bit of a 2020 toilet roll panic buying situation when I got there. So yeah, perhaps you've been feeling that, but actually things are starting to kind of reappear on the horizon now. And like the early stages of the goodness are coming. So we can actually get off the sofa and stop stuffing our faces with crisps now into this week. We can start feeling some of the action happening perhaps. And then the Tower. So the Tower is when everything comes crashing down, but let's not take that too literally, right? Perhaps the reason that this has been stalling, perhaps the reason that you're starting to see a little glimmer of hope now is because what you thought that you wanted maybe hasn't come into fruition. Maybe that's that Tower kind of feeling of, but this is what I've been trying to achieve. This is what I want. This is what I think I want. But the universe always has a greater imagination. So perhaps whatever this opportunity is, whatever this kind of glimmer of hope is actually related to a new tower or something even better or greater than you possibly could have imagined. So I really do feel like if you feel that, it's not happening, it is, but it's going to happen in a way where the universe has this greater imagination, where it's going to be maybe slightly different to what you anticipate or what you expect. Or what you've been trying to manifest. Maybe, something's coming in that's even better than what you are trying to manifest for yourself. So this is really interesting for this week. Let me grab the cards and we'll go through one by one in the signs. And then, as I say, please look at the timestamps and go to your sun, moon and rising. It's worth always watching all three. So let's start with Taurus. Okay, Taurus, 10 of Swords in reverse. Always looks terrifying, but it's not. What you again, God, this word horizon is coming up quite a lot. Because what you see here is this horizon, the fog lifting, and the things starting to brighten up. The sun's starting to come out again. So I feel like if it's been like struggle after struggle after struggle, you're kind of coming to the end of that. But this isn't necessarily physically, but more because it's reversed internally. So maybe the struggle's been coming from you. Maybe you've been on the struggle bus. Through your thoughts and feelings and emotions, and just generally negative self-talk and mindset. And maybe it's the end of that. Maybe you're starting to see this kind of brightness appear as you're starting to feel a bit better about yourself and a bit more optimistic in your thinking. All right, Virgo. The Fool card in reverse, it came out as well. Right, so the Fool card is not, the Fool is no fool. Here he is, like gallivanting towards, is that the right word? Who knows? Towards the edge of this cliff. This dog is following him. He's got his fabulous mini dress on. He's looking up and he's not got a care in the world. He's going to walk right off that cliff, and he has this absolute blind faith that he's going to be fine, that all is good and bright and sunny and beautiful. He would be right, because the Fool is no fool. It's about how the world perceives the Fool. Often the Fool is the one that is, it's like the black sheep, but he's like the one that doesn't follow the pack, that doesn't follow the herd, right? In the reverse position, as this came out, perhaps you're overcritical of yourself, you're overthinking or overjudging a situation or a circumstance, and you're worried about what people might think or feel. But I think the truth is, in the external world, they aren't going to look at you like that. I feel like it's just you who's looking at yourself like having the potential opportunity to be a fool, to make a silly decision, one that doesn't feel in alignment. No, I'm going to recorrect that. Not that doesn't feel in alignment, that you think, if you were to do a pros and cons list, it doesn't physically seem like it would be in alignment, but how does it feel, right? So I'm saying don't use common sense to make decisions, but you want to reverse engineer that, and not use anything that you've done so far. If you've done a pros and cons, or you've talked something out with someone, you don't want to do that. You want to go back on all of that and go back to that original instinct or feeling or thought that you had about it and go with that, right? Even if it feels a bit foolish, you want to go with it. All right. What have we got now? Capricorn. Let's see. The Hanged Man. And also reversed. So the Hanged Man hasn't been hung. He's hung himself. He's only hung by the ankle, don't worry, he's fine. But he's got this brightness around his head here, and he actually looks like he's having quite a nice time. This is about changing your thinking, your mindset, right? So if you have been stuck in your ways for a while, and maybe those thoughts or feelings are potentially what's been holding you back. We've kind of talked about things being stagnant or stalled. Perhaps if you've been held back, it's been through your own thoughts and feeling in your own mindset, and perhaps you need to just change the way you look at a situation or circumstance. Excuse me. I just think to re-look at something, but from a different light and a different perspective, and try and get a new feeling or thought or energy around it. All right, Sagittarius. The Five of Cups, that also came out reversed. Look, it looks a little bit sad. Like this cloak, this big black cloak, and these cups spilled over, and this person perhaps looking a bit sorrowful. This is very much about figuring out, where does your energy belong and where does it not belong? Like, which cups, we've got a couple that are up right there, which cups are worth pouring your energy into and which are not, which you need to let spill over. If you're spreading yourself too thin, but it's affecting you, from the inside, it's affecting perhaps your mental health or your just general feelings of life at the moment. I think there's just a little symbol or sign here to say that you're spreading yourself too thin, that you can't do everything, you can't uphold everything and everyone. You've got to let a few cups spill over. So I feel like it's time just to let go of some stuff for you, Sagittarius. Just let go of some things and release them into the universe and say, I can't do everything, so I'm going to have to just revise the service that I can offer the world, and then hope to correct what's going on inside, to help you get over these kind of more low feelings or challenges that you're experiencing because you're just busying yourself too much. All right, let's try Leo. Leo. Oh, it's like the last hurdle, Leo. It's the 10 of Wands, and you can see that you're carrying these wands and you're right there by the village, almost there. And this very much is about things that you've been kind of really trying to bring into fruition for yourself. Maybe getting to the point where it's feeling like a bit of a slog, and we kind of talked about that with the general energies. But you're right there. You're right on the precipice. You're right on the cusp of absolutely achieving that thing. And it's worth kind of that last hurdle. You're basically there. So I'm looking forward to things coming into fruition for you, a bit more stuff that you've been working really hard on coming into fruition for you this week. All right, Aries. You have got the 9 of Cups in reverse. Right, so when you look at this guy, he's just sat there, he's got his arms crossed. He looks a bit smug. Smug, defensive. I don't know if those two words go together, but maybe both. But all those cups stacked up in the background, right? This is about organizing yourself, particularly your mind, around, like, you know, that phrase, getting your ducks in a row. But I feel like you're getting your ducks in a row for yourself, not necessarily of the physical tasks in life, but you're just getting your own ducks in a row. And I think it's a bit like that. And I think that once you've done that and you've secured that your mind feels clearer, you know, more clarity, and then you get this kind of defensiveness, which is, I'm not letting anybody else come in or any other views or opinions to influence me. I'm getting my mind organized and sorted, and I'm creating a boundary there, or even a barrier, that's okay too, to stop letting other people influence me, or other views or opinions or thoughts. Okay, so I just think you're getting stuff back in order a little bit. All right, let's go Gemini. Gemini, you have the Star card, like the rebirth, the thing that comes after the Tower. Now, we talked about the Tower and the general energy, so this rebirth card is very interesting. The nudity represents kind of exposure or vulnerability, which often happens when we start over, when we're put in a position where we're more vulnerable and we're having to start from scratch and rebuild that tower. But it's beautiful because here we've got this person is pouring on the land and in the water. They've got all these stars above. It's very luscious green land. You've got even a mountainscape there. So, excuse me, it's, gosh, it's just a time of like real newness and wholeness, like feeling like you're starting from scratch, but in a sense of, being in true authentic alignment and in true authentic feeling about the thing that you're trying to create now. You know, your world, your life, like just having this kind of breath of fresh air, newness coming for you, which is great. I like that for you. All right, Aquarius. Oh, Aquarians. This is me and, well, I'm an Aquarian sun. The 2 of Swords in reverse. Often this is about a crossroads in life or decision making, like a real struggle with a decision. And we see the challenge here because this person's blindfolded. This came out reversed. So I'm wondering if that's a sense of you feeling overwhelmed about not even necessarily a physical decision, but just feeling overwhelmed about where you belong, what your purpose is, what, you know, who do you want to be, what kind of life do you want to live, where are the things that you thought you wanted, are they the things that you'd still want? Like, I just feel like there's a lot of inner voice telling you that you need to have clarity and you need to make decisions to get clarity, to know what you're aiming towards, know what you're working for. And so maybe this is just a week to try and look at clarity, right? To really understand that. And the way that you do that is to remove this blindfold, right? Often when we overthink something, we're so blinded by all of the information that we actually can't see the wood through the trees. So maybe it's your opportunity to step away from thinking, like losing this element, and move into feeling. How do you feel about if you went this way or that way? How do you feel about if you let go of this dream but headed for this dream? You know, just thinking out of the picture and feeling back in. I hope that makes sense for you. Right, Libra. You need to ask for help, Libra. I don't know if you ask for help easily, but you need to ask for help. Here you are stepping up here, taking charge, and then you've got two people here that you're instructing, asking for that help to get out of this dark place. So I think it's very much as simple as that. Like, it's time just to step up and take some authority over what's going on for you, by instructing other people, telling people what you need from them. Rather than just, you know, letting life go by or being easy breezy about it, or just hoping and accepting that it'll work out. No, this week you need to step up, take action, be a bit more dominant, and tell people what you need from them. Just be really clear about your expectations. All right, Cancerians. Oh dear, what have we got? Okay, the Empress. Oh, stepping into your divine energy, your divine feminine energy, I should say. Excuse me again. Sorry, these crisps are really just stuck right here, but they were still delicious. Yes, the Empress. So the Empress here, you can see she's made her own throne. So if you've been working like really hard to understand yourself, to build a life that you want, to feel good about yourself, to know that, you know, kind of give yourself your own crown and scepter here. Like, it's really starting to feeling being the optimal word here. It's really starting to feel in alignment. Like, you're really starting to feel good about who you are, and what you created for yourself, because this Empress here has made her own throne. It's like bolster cushions and fabric and stuff here. She's out there in nature. She's not sitting in a big castle. So yeah, it's very much about you really enjoying you know, what you created for yourself, and feeling good within yourself as a divine feminine person. And now we all have masculine and feminine. It's not male or female. So really stepping into this kind of ownership of the self and the feeling good about the self is what this is about. Scorpio. Scorpio, we've got the Knight of Pentacles, also in reverse. If you have been going through some stuff that feels a bit darker, a bit deeper, you come out victorious, right? Because, you know, he's coming back from battle here. He's holding up his pentacle. But when we think about this reverse position, victory isn't the physical, which it would be if it were upright with the pentacles. Victory is like a self-worth thing. It's like a self-worth victory. So perhaps you've kind of been dragged through the mill, but for a reason, because there's a big lesson within that. There's a big opportunity to learn to, you know, kind of own yourself, forgive yourself, love yourself, know yourself better. Growth and opportunity, right? So I feel like you've come through some stuff that has made you really understand yourself a lot better, and that's a massive win. It doesn't mean that it was pleasant, though, right? That's what the black horse here represents. It was a battle that was a kind of a deeper, darker battle. but you are kind of emerging victorious now. And there's a lot of that energy going on generally in this reading for this week, about people just really kind of understanding how the journey has kind of come into fruition, with the lessons and the feeling goodness and the self-worth. So yeah, I think this is a week of just really recognizing yourself, just really recognizing yourself and what you've been through and how far you've come. All right, Pisces. That flew out. The Three of Wands. Brand new opportunities, like things where, like, you've got this blank plane here. I always refer to it like a blank canvas, and you've got these 3 wands. You're looking over at that blank canvas, and you can do whatever you want with that. You can make, create, do, bring into fruition anything that you want. You have opportunity now just to go and be free and to do. So there's a real freedom aspect to this, but also like a really creative aspect emerging of you maybe having some choice and some kind of grounds that you can go and explore and enjoy and just be really open-minded and not even have to follow one specific route, right? So yeah, there's some real kind of creative freedom coming for you this week, which is really nice to see. Okay, well, there we are. That's our 12 signs. I hope you have a wonderful week. If you'd like a private reading with me, you can do that at lukevoulgarakis.com/tarot. I'll pop that information in the link. That link in the information. And if you'd like to follow, subscribe, share, all the things we do on social media that you can do for absolutely free, and that really help me and other people out who do this sort of thing to help grow our channels and reach more people, of course. Thank you so much. Enjoy your week ahead. Bye-bye.